Dear friends, in what can only be described as a very, very big upset, Zimbabwe has stunned Australia in the ongoing ICC T20 World Cup. And to know more about this, let's speak with Sandip Janee. Sandip, tell us how big an upset is this, and still kind of trying to gauge what's happened. But yeah, tell us about it.
Yeah, thanks, Pallavi. I think a big upset considering what's been happening in the World Cup until now. Teams like Nepal, Afghanistan have come close, but this is a big upset in Group B, in which Australia is. Also, just to add that Zimbabwe is the only team which has a 100% win record against Australia in T20 World Cups. So they played two matches and they won both. So the first one was in the 2007 World Cup when they defeated Australia, and this is the second instance. So I think considering the context and where we are in the group stage, it's a big, big upset.
Yeah. And going forward, could you tell us, how this impacts Australia's chances of going forward?
Sure. So I think the Group B is placed precariously. So just to let everyone know, there is Sri Lanka, Australia, Zimbabwe, Ireland, and Oman in the group. So Sri Lanka and Zimbabwe are now at 4 points each. They've already won two games, and Australia has lost this.
Mhm.
So the games coming up for Australia are against Sri Lanka and Oman, whereas the easier games, or in fact the difficult games for Zimbabwe and Sri Lanka are done, which means only a single victory for Zimbabwe, which could be the next match against Ireland, would take them to 6 points. Similarly, for Zimbabwe, for Sri Lanka, they are playing Australia and then Oman. Considering they win against Oman, they're also at 6 points. So for Australia to now go through, they need to win both the matches. And even if they win, the net run rate will come into play because most probably Zimbabwe, Sri Lanka, and Australia will be on 6 points after the
Mhm.
group stage ends, which means that the net run rate at the end of the day could be a big, big factor in deciding the two semifinalists from this group.
Yeah. So it's going to be a thriller, I think, for all Aussie cricket fans, because now this means that unless all the matches in Group B are over, we will not really know if Australia is going to go to the next stage or not.
Absolutely. So that makes the World Cup more thrilling for the fans, which means that you get an opportunity to watch all games. So yeah, yes, it's this group is definitely going down to the wire until the last game because the last game also there'll be a net run rate in play mostly. So yeah, exciting times ahead.
Yeah, and if you could briefly tell us about what happened today, like who were the batsmen or the bowlers who kind of really stood out in today's match. So if you could just give us a brief summary of that.
Sure. So I wanted to start with, Australia and how, their World Cup campaign has, been plagued with injuries. Just before it started, Pat Cummins, Josh Hazelwood, Tim David, top players were injured and they're not part of the World Cup squad. Even when they came here, the first match that they played, their captain, Mitchell Marsh, he suffered a groin injury. He didn't play this match as well, which meant that Travis Head was captaining. So they've been already plagued with injuries in this match itself. Stoinis got injured. He had a split webbing as well. So it's been a tough couple of months for Australia. But having said that, what happened here was that Zimbabwe batted first. Yeah, they started really well without losing, many wickets. They got to a score of 57 in the power play, which was fantastic. The wicket was a little too pace. It was a little slow, but I don't think the Australians bowled that well, up front. And then, post that, Brian Bennett, who was the opener, and Marumani, the wicket keeper, they carried the flag around and, scored around 64 and 35 each. And then got to a score of around 169 for two in, 20 overs. So they didn't lose a lot of wickets and they kept going till the end. From the bowling perspective, Australia, the top two performers in the last match. Nathan Ellis and Adam Zampa, who had picked up 4 wickets each, went wicketless. So I think that was a crucial moment for them there, in terms of the bowling, and that's where they were not able to restrain Zimbabwe to lesser score. And once they were chasing 170, I think Blessing Muzarabani, who was the man of the match, the fast bowler from Zimbabwe, he picked up 4 wickets for 17. So he broke the back of the Australian side. At one point, I remember they were 29 for 4, and it's very, very tough to come back from such a situation. So Matt Renshaw and uh, Glenn Maxwell tried the level best. Renshaw scored a 65 from 45 balls. But I think the biggest difference and the turning point, according to me, was the catch by Myonga. He dismissed, Dwash's. And that time Australia needed around 39 from 15 balls, and Renshaw and Dwash's were going well. So I think that catch probably will be nominated for the best catch of the tournament. So that was the turning point. And eventually they lost by 23 runs, setting up a very, very exciting Group B.
Sandeep, thank you so much for all that information, and we'll keep joining you during the course of this fantastic tournament. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, Pallavi. Pleasure to be here.